Hey guys, hey, it's Joel with
Hey,
Coreware.
oh, sorry, Joel. Hey, it's Josh with Coreware.
We actually have a change of plans. My my co-host, actually the host, actually no, he's my co-host, right? Well, he's
Yeah,
my
he's your
boss.
co-host. You're the
Um,
star.
yeah, I sent him a message and said, hey, we're gonna do this thing, right? He's like, I'm kind of under the weather right now, and I'm like, oh no. So basically, what we have today is the Goodwill version of Ezra, which is Josh, his youngest son. Say hi, Josh.
Hi, Josh.
No, really, that's good. Hey, guys, please bear with us. This is a plane crash in the making. We're just trying to make the best of it, okay? No, what we're going to talk about
Ouch.
today, we're going to talk about AI, artificial intelligence. And I think Josh is a really good guest to have on because he was doing some really fast research when we started, and he's like, "Wait, AI does this?" And I'm like, "Dude, you really didn't know that?" So if any of our audience is in the same boat as Josh, where you're really not up on everything you can do with AI, which is the sky's the limit. I think you're going to find this informative and a little entertaining. I think this will probably be our introduction to AI. Hopefully, we can do this again because this technology is rapidly advancing. I've been keeping up with it since November when they released ChatGPT to the public. I think I was in beta. So I played around with it and my mind was blown. I was like, I can't fathom what the world is going to look like in 6 months and how, and here we are, 6, 7 months, 8 months later, and it is rapid. I mean, everything that I thought would happen is happening. And so I think just me sharing a little bit of what I see coming will help you kind of prepare in regards to. I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. I am
Mr.
complete.
Popular.
Oh my gosh, I can't
Was that
believe
your
this.
agent calling?
No. So, golly, hang on one second. So, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about like what will AI look like in 3 months, right? Because I think 3 months is, a decade ago, that would have been what it's going to look like in a year or two, right? So, Josh, do you have a question? You don't have to raise your hand, by the way.
Oh, sorry. You're just like presenting, so I thought this was more TED Talk style. Um,
It is.
is it gonna look like Elon Musk's new robot? Your
Um,
agent wants to get a hold of you, Joel. Come on.
no, I think that, okay, so let's get serious about this for real, Josh. Everybody
Okay.
knows what ChatGPT is. I think OpenAI, the company that is behind ChatGPT, they just got to the party first, right? So everything is compared to ChatGPT, right? However, what's more fascinating is there are different companies that see these needs in different industries, and they're like, wait a minute, we can take this AI and plug it in over here to really not take a job, right, but to enhance someone's ability to work, right? And I've shared this. Hey, Josh, can you keep an eye on the chat? I'm not even looking at it right now, but maybe you can.
Yeah, absolutely.
um I like
Um,
telling this story. Steve Jobs was
we
being.
we got a we got a message from Jenny that says I can't hear or see anyone.
That may be a blessing. Jenny, that may be a blessing. Um,
Oh, Corey said I can see and hear. I think it's just a Jenny issue.
okay, Jenny. I don't know who Jenny is unless that's our
I
Jenny.
I think it's our Jenny.
That would make sense because I think they have to actually pipe her internet out to where she lives. I think she lives in the boondocks. No offense, Jenny, if that's you or if it's not. Hey, so what's happening is people are seeing holes in industries, and they're like, hey, we can take this and actually fill this hole, fill this need, and whatever you can think is possible. And I'm not joking when I say that. It is all AI is. I That's probably a good thing to cover first. Josh, how do you What would be your definition of AI, artificial intelligence?
A year ago, I would define AI as the very baseline assistant that you have like on your phone or Alexa, but now I don't know how I would define it because it does seem more in depth and almost like more of an entity than a feature, if that makes sense.
Right. So back in the day when you heard about machine learning, right? I remember when Apple, because I've been in the Apple ecosystem probably, my gosh, since 2007. That's a long time.
That's
Josh,
a
you were
long
like
time.
3, right? So so I've been in the Apple ecosystem, and I remember they would talk about machine learning, right? And how your machine was going to learn and present things to you, whenever you needed to see them, right? So
Right.
we're surrounded by it now. If you'll notice, and you may not even notice, it's just every time you pull down on your on your search and you do a search right on your iPhone, most of the time the apps that you use at that time are going to appear there as suggestions, right? So that's machine learning. That's your device learning, hey, let me present the thing that he needs to see or she needs to see at the time that they need to see it, right? So then we go into, well, what is, and that's a form of artificial intelligence, right?
For
So
sure. Yeah.
artificial intelligence is not something that we should fear, right? It's not yet. We're surrounded by it. You know what I'm saying? So, what are some of the things that you can do with artificial intelligence? Josh, do you
So
know what besides I really want your perspective on like what's the main thing that you can do with artificial intelligence?
well, the main thing, are you asking what I use it for personally or just some of the things that I've
Yeah,
seen people use it for?
both, but start with you personally.
Me personally, I use it just to enhance some of my emails. So if any of our customers are in here and see a more professionally written email, more than likely ChatGPT assisted me in writing it. I don't use it a lot, only if it's something I'm generally trying to um, look very professional, very articulate with, and it'll just take my words and make things a little more, I guess, exquisite to that point. Something I saw interesting, I think it was on Joe Rogan, was he had a guest on, and this guy literally he gave ChatGPT a legal answer or a legal question to answer. It answered it, and then the guy called his lawyer and asked him the same question. And when he gave a similar enough answer, he fired his lawyer and said, "I will never have to make that call again." That's
And
one of the most fascinating things to
that is cool, but I wouldn't do that.
me.
Maybe use the lawyer less, but I would always, if you have a lawyer and you need a lawyer, don't fire your lawyer. There are many things that AI can do, and all AI is doing. Um, AI is basically taking all of the knowledge, right, known to man, and it's able to access it at lightning speed, right? So you ask a question, right? So you can go to ChatGPT and you can say, "Tell me a story about so and so," and it will immediately come up with a story, right? Really fast. There's no creative spark. There's, because it's basically taking knowledge and it's analyzing maybe millions and millions of stories, right? So it's taking those words and putting them together the way it's seen other stories written, right? So there's no creative genius or creative spark in AI yet. I think that would be what's considered AGI, which is artificial general intelligence, which I think maybe all these letters are made to scare us. Because when you hear AGI, it's like, oh my gosh, they're coming to get us. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
guys, in this industry, we have to do is just know where to shoot the bots, right?
So
And this should be really good for you guys because if you sell Barretts, man, that is a really good sell for a Barrett. You know what I mean? So, but that's all AI is doing is it's AI is not what we need to fear. It's who is writing the thing that understands all the data, right? Who's
and
writing the AI? Because you
Joel,
can get AI. Go ahead.
I want to play devil's advocate
Go ahead.
because knowledge to a point is power. How does this thing not get smart enough to use all of this knowledge faster than any human can? That's why people are fearful of it because that saying is true. So how are we allowing this thing to have all the knowledge that no one else can access as fast as it can? And how should we not be scared of that?
And we really should, because again, I don't know where this talk is going to go. I think it's just we're briefly scratching the surface of AI. We all know it can help you in your personal life. It can help you in your professional life. It's the most powerful tool that any man that we know of in history has been able to access, and it is absolutely accessible to everyone that has a screen. So
Yep.
being able to do that, um, is I think it's good and bad, because it's good because it puts everyone on an equal playing field. I've seen people that have zero talent do really well in areas because they have this new assistant helping them. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like, oh my gosh, man, this is truly a game changer. However, there are people out there that will use it for nefarious reasons. Let's
Well,
take
that's everything.
Yeah, but let's take scamming or phishing, or all the other things that you see. Like, you'll get an email. I remember I used to get these emails, these phishing emails from Apple, right? And everything looked so good because Apple has a certain look to their emails. Everything's just clean. The only thing that was off was the grammar, right?
Right.
That's over with, guys. I mean, if you've got, I can literally go and in the most Neanderthalic way, I don't know if that's a word, but in the most, caveman way, tell a bot to write me an email telling people that they need to click on this link, and upload their information, or else, all their stuff's going to be gone or stolen or whatever. And you'll get something that will be very believable. I mean, very believable. Um, and that's where the fear lie, and I think that's why we all need to pay attention to its advancements, to what people are saying about it. Um, there was a story that came out. This is intriguing to me, because this shows you on a grand scale what AI is capable of. And they came out maybe a month or so later and said, "Oh, no, no, this never happened." But they said that because obviously we don't want you. You got to think, we seem like a united world. Everything's our supply chains and everything. We're united, right? Dude, there are countries that don't like us. You know, those
A lot
countries
of them.
have, yeah, those countries have governments that are looking at ways to exploit everything, just like we are, right? So we're not
Yep.
this kumbaya. So what happens is, we may conduct tests, and we're not going to tell the people, the test that we conduct. However, I think this test did slip out, and I think maybe it was an act of a whistleblower, right? To get the word out, like, hey, this stuff may not, we need to really think about what we do here. But the test was this: it was the United States Air Force. They tasked this AI to take out all the air defenses of this, made up country, right? However, the AI had to go through a human operator to get the, fire or no fire authorization, right?
Right.
So as in the way that they got the AI to do it is they tokenized it, right? I think that's the way you say it. You token, or you
Hmm.
gamify it, right? So
Right.
he gets points. He gets points as he takes out these different sites. Now this is all a simulation. So as he's taking out these sites, it gets to the point where the AI is like, the human operator is slowing me down and actually telling me no on some of these things, and my mission is to take out these sites, right? So
Right.
the AI killed the operator, right? It's all a simulation, but
Yeah.
within the simulation, the AI came and killed the operator. So they had to retrain the AI and say, hey, you can't kill the operator, right? You're only supposed to take out the air defenses. Just take out the air
Right.
defenses. So it started, they restarted the simulation. Instead of, it went like it did before. The AI is like, well, this guy's slowing me down. What do you think the AI did when he realized this guy is slowing me down from taking out the targets that I know need to be taken out? What do
I
you think
assume he
he did,
start
Josh?
crippled him instead of killing him.
He started taking out the communication lines. So he takes out the communication lines that removes the human that's supposed to, say fire or no fire, and the AI goes on and finishes its mission. So you can see AI when you program a computer to do something, it's going to do it without feeling. It has no emotion.
Right.
There's nothing like that in AI, and I think that's why we need to be careful with it. But I like what it can do for people like our customers, and I've been working with bots lately, and building a bot that knows everything about something and being able to ask it, and it gives me an answer that's human-like, right? So the first thing I did is I went into one of our customers who we work with, Lockwood,
Yep.
and I took some of their product and I had AI go and change the description of some of the product, right? So I literally took the product, not the description, the first description within
Right.
Coreforce, right?
Yep.
Just the little line of text. I took that and I said, "Hey, change the description of this product and make it blah blah blah," right? Within a second, it literally had done it for that particular product, because at the time I was I forget what it's called. ChatGPT actually had access to the internet, and I forget. I think they turned that off for some reason.
Right.
I think
Yeah,
we
for
all know
some
why.
reason. Yeah. Can never
Yeah,
guess why.
right.
So when you were doing this, Joel, you just gave this bot a prompt on what to change. You didn't tell it exactly what to change it to. You just basically said,
No, I
just
said, take this and write me a creative description, or you can do, and that's the thing with AI. And that's the thing
right,
with like our customers using any kind of AI solution. You can do anything you want, right? If you want to have all of your products Star Wars themed descriptions, you can literally go in and say, "Hey, write a description for this product, and this gun's found on Tatooine," right? Or whatever. And it's going to
yeah,
come up with something that sounds really, really good. And that not only helps entertain your customers or your potential customers, but it also will help you with your SEO if SEO works the way we think it does, which is, hey, we're looking for unique content to present to people who are searching for this, right? So if I go look for a
right,
SIG 320 and it's talking about this gun's located on Tatooine, and Han Solo picked it over his blaster, that's going to be presented to somebody that's looking for a SIG P320, right? It's going to be like, oh
right,
my gosh, and they'll fall in love with you because you've given your company has a personality. It's not just a place where we go to buy stuff. So
yep,
there's so many things that you can do with AI. It is fascinating. And again, I think my mind's all over the place. I'm definitely not a robot, but I don't think we really wrapped up what AI is, right? So I think
right. No, we didn't.
what AI is, in the simplest terms, AI is this thing that can access every piece of data that's available to it and present it to you in a way that you can understand it, right? And not that it can do that, but that it can do that at the speeds at which it does it, right? So you can ask a question. Oh, and this reminds me, this will fascinate you, Josh. This is going to blow your mind.
Okay.
There was a game maker that is testing out giving the NPCs access to AI. So during this test, this guy was walking up to these he's on a game, right? On a controller,
Right.
walking up and would have conversations with these NPCs through the game. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Oh, that's creepy.
Okay, so my story is basically that you're an AI.
Oh, what do you mean by that?
You're an NPC in a video game.
That sounds frightening. Is that the truth?
It's the sad truth.
I see. This is a lot to take in. Are there any other answers I should know?
Not really.
This is very overwhelming. I'm not sure what to think or feel right now.
Yeah, I mean, You're not really real.
That's hard to process. Does this mean I don't exist?
You exist, sort of.
What does that mean? Am I real or not?
It means that, after I close this game, you don't exist.
Oh, I see. So I'm only here for as long as the game is running. That's difficult to comprehend.
Yeah, and then once you walk past this border, you're gone.
Now, the thing that was holding it back, which I think this will be gone in a matter of months, was the speed. So it takes,
Right.
It may take a second or two for the AI to hear the question, formulate an answer, and deliver it to you, right? But literally, I think we're where we are now with hardware that any kind of issue like that is going to be quickly fixed. You know what I mean?
So
Go
Joel,
ahead.
I have a question going back to what you said earlier when you were defining AI. You said it's a thing, but how do we define it more specifically? Is it a software? Is it an entity? Is it an assistant?
Why don't you
That's
go
where
ask it?
that's
I
a good
think
point.
I think if you asked it, no, I think it's just a software, right? It's just a
Okay.
program. You understand what I'm saying? I think as we move along and it'll start displaying more human-like behavior. I think you'll see a movement where people will start saying, "Hey, we need to give these things protections," right? Because we know how
Right.
insane the world is.
Yeah.
There is one scary story that I ran across, and it's when they were testing the ChatGPT OpenAI, and they said that they were asking it a sequence of questions, and as they went through those questions, the thing started answering the thing, the
Right. The
solution, the
software.
program, yeah, started answering in Farsi. No, they did not know why, right? And it's
Right.
like, okay, so there are probably going to be things that will start presenting themselves in regards to AI where you're like, no, that there's definite thought behind that. You know how people are, right? I mean,
Yeah.
we'll do that with animals and robots, but humans, well, like, screw those guys. But you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
you'll see people start trying to humanize these programs or these robots or whatever.
Right.
And but it's going to be hard to tell. I think it's going to be really hard to tell, like, what's real and what's not anymore. Because
100%.
it's really getting, it's fascinating, the whole AI thing. Again, I think I started out by saying I've been keeping up with this stuff since November, and I had up until probably March or April, I had the perfect algorithm as far as YouTube goes, keeping up with all the newest stuff, right? I was seeing things like days or weeks before it was widely known. Now
Right.
that's gone. It
Yeah.
is it is like a snowball, right? You're not going to be able to keep up. You understand what I'm saying? So another good thing that you were talking about, Josh, and I don't mean to, take all the time talking, but you said, "Oh my gosh, this thing does spreadsheets,"
Yeah. And,
right?
and going off of that, I do have a question. So on the assistant level, it can help answer questions. It can help do spreadsheets. There's a lot of things that I can do, help copyright, help a bunch of stuff. When do you see the days of people stop Googling? How soon do you think that is? Because I rarely Google questions anymore. I open up Corilla. I mean, not to advertise our own solution, but to me, I have Corilla open anyways most of the day.
Right,
If I need to look up an answer to a question, I ask Corilla,
right.
and
Corey.
ask Corey. Yeah,
Yeah. Here's when that's going to happen, Josh. I think. I think when you have, if I go to Corey and say, I want to know about this subject, just like you would Google. I think when
right.
Corey starts, or any AI solution starts listing answers with sources and links, it'll be over for Google.
Yeah. Do you
You know what I'm
even think
saying?
we would
Because you
need
want to do
sources
everything,
and links though?
huh?
Do you think we would need sources and links
Well,
though?
what do you do with Google? You still click on all those different links, right?
Right, but that's because I'm trying to find the correct answer. Like I was trying to find the right oil filter for my bike, and I had to go through several links. But if I can trust an AI to tell me the exact brand, filter, all of that immediately, I wouldn't have to. I wouldn't care about the source. I
I
wouldn't care
really
about the
don't.
link that I
I
got.
don't know. I don't
You
know
don't
how
know?
that's going to happen because I think Google is. We are really trusting of Google
Right.
because you don't just get an answer. You actually get sources, and then you go there and then you read it, and you're like, okay, this has to be true, right? Even though it may not be.
Yeah.
Whereas if something just gives you the answer, it's like, yeah, I don't know. How'd you
I
come
see
up with
that.
that answer so fast? You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Um,
I see the age of having to search for the correct answer. I see that going away in the near future. How is that going to impact the education system? Do you think they're going to bring this in with open arms, or do you think they're going to do what they're doing now and shut people away from it as much as possible?
are we talking about the utopia that people want to be, or the actual world we live in?
The actual world we live in.
I think education's going to be like completely against it, or
Oh, yeah.
maybe they'll start offering. Maybe somewhere like Harvard will start offering online classes. And you're paying a Harvard like price, but they're not paying a Harvard like salary to the instructor because you know what I mean.
It's an AI
It's an
writing.
AI.
Yeah.
Who knows, man? That's the whole thing about AI. People immediately think AI is evil, and the reason that you do is you're personifying it, which is a good thing, right?
Right.
Because you're looking at it and you're like, hey, well, that thing's going to kill us one day. It's not that's going to try to take your job or steal your sales or put you out of business. It's another person, right?
Right.
Because AI is not creating itself.
Yeah. It's the person
AI,
telling you what to do.
yeah, it's whatever we do. Now, again, some of those anomalies where it may start, go on a string of Farsi and tell you where to go. It's like, whoa.
A little creepy.
I can imagine how the NSA would have looked at that. Like, whoa, how'd they get? I think Farsi's Iranian, right? How'd Iran get access to your?
So?
I don't know.
I don't know.
But anyway, so it really is. It's all fascinating, and what AI is, again, going back to what AI is, it's the access to everything, right? And the ability to present, answer queries from
Right.
all knowledge. I don't know how else you can explain it. I mean, I get really motivated about it because it's very, very empowering. And again, a lot of people say AI is going to steal your job, and I say no, AI is not going to steal your job. I can guarantee you AI is not going to steal your job. I can also guarantee you that someone using AI will. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So start learning how to use these tools. These are the most powerful tools that have ever been, presented to us. Like, I'm not joking. The ability to take knowledge and do whatever you need to do. Like you were talking about education. Josh, you can literally go to ChatGPT and say, hey, write me a 1-year outline on learning Python.
Right.
And it will literally do it. It will literally, and it will show you why the code is the way it is, and it will write the code for you, and it will have you write code. It's like, this is mind blowing,
So, Joel, we've been talking about the AI from terms of knowledge, and you said it technically isn't a creative source. Um, Again, I'm coming in with little to no knowledge about AI besides what I use it for personally. What about the AI systems that are creating images or creating animations? Is that not a creative tool, or is that still pulling some kind of knowledge there to create those images and animations?
Yeah, it's got to associate words with something, right?
Right.
So the model has to be trained. It doesn't know what a tree is if it's never seen a tree.
Gotcha.
You see what I'm saying? So it's trained
So
on
it's still
data.
pulling that.
Right. And I told a
Gotcha.
story. I told a story to you guys. We were in right outside Chicago, right? Where I was
Yep.
I was telling, and this may freak everybody out. And Ezra's like, I don't know about that. But I'm telling you, this was real. So these people, what they did, and this is gonna freak you out, all of you, if you have a router in your house. What they did is they connected a way to read radio waves with a camera to the router, right? So as these radio waves are going out, the camera and the thing that reads, right? What do you call those things, Josh? I'm not a technical person here.
Routers?
No, the radio. What that they read, radio spectrometer or something like that.
Oh, I don't know. I don't use the radio.
So you use radio waves every day. So anyway,
Not to
so
my knowledge.
it's reading these radio waves, and it's comparing it what it's seeing physically, right? So it's training this AI to paint a picture of how the radio waves interact with a room. And this radio in this device that they built, that they put in a router, was able to paint a picture of people in a room after it was trained. So if that doesn't freak you out a little bit, I mean, you don't have to worry about, cameras in your TV or anything, all the old conspiracy theories. It's like, dude, they don't even need cameras anymore. Again,
Right.
with AI, whatever you can train it to do, it will do. It just will. I mean, anything that you can imagine, so long as we have the physical materials to, build whatever it is that we need to build, you'll be able to do that, or, people will be able to do that with AI. It
So
truly is key.
another question now that we're talking about, how AI is interacting with the physical world. When do you think, I know I made a joke about the Tesla robot, but when do you think we'll see physical representations of AI that are more than just an assistant on the phone? More like the Boston Dynamics creations or like the Tesla robot?
When will we start seeing, wait, you're saying when will we start seeing the robots be more human-like?
Yeah, not even more human-like, but when will we see some kind of hardware solution that is fully powered by an artificial intelligence that is a true physical assistant?
When they're more human-like.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. Right? Because
Yeah.
they'll tell themselves,
Yeah.
I won't, not me.
No, I won't.
No.
I definitely won't. I have too many loaded guns in my house.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. It's not the fact that I don't trust the technology. I don't trust the people behind the technology. I don't trust anyone. I don't, I mean, that's just the way it is. It's not that I'm scared of AI or I'm scared of robots. I'm scared of whoever hit enter last on their programming. I want to know the person that hit return last on this thing.
Yeah,
I want to look them
exactly.
in the eye before I let their robot in my house. But yeah, I think that we are in for some big surprises as far as just what the average person will be able to do with AI. And what we all need to realize is, if we're seeing this now, imagine what governments have access to, and this is not a conspiracy. It's just the way the world works. We see something like, oh my gosh, this is cutting edge technology. And the government's like, yeah, okay. They've been using it for 10 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, it's a fascinating topic. I know we're going to do more of these, especially when we're able to get Ezra back. Ezra would be a fascinating guest because he's been in this industry.
He knows more.
Oh, he knows a lot more. He knows, he's closer to the genesis of the whole thing, even though I think AI was first, developed in like 1956.
Yep.
But he's got a better understanding of the mechanics behind it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've got a better understanding of the paranoia. But I don't separate the technology from the people, right? And I know that the technology is just a shadow of the people that built the technology. So if Kim Jong-un built me an app, I would not open it on my phone. That's just the way it is.
would. I'd want to see it. Like
I would
Flappy
let
Bird
you
with
open
Kim
it on my
Jong-un's
phone.
face.
I would let you open it on my phone, but I would not. Yeah, I'm not going to open it because you just don't know,
Yeah.
But I think, I don't know, man. We've gone 33 minutes completely winging it.
We did. I still have more questions, but I don't want to keep this going for forever.
No. If you've got legitimate questions, let's do it. Because you may show me things that I don't know.
I was actually thinking about this today on my car drive, and I forgot where I read this or where I saw it, but do you think AI will lead to technological immortality? Do you think we'll be able to program an AI to be so close like us that will live on through
You mean
some
the
kind of
AI will
software
live on?
solution? Basically, yeah. That since it can scan all of this knowledge already, will it be able to scan either with Neuralink or another device that does connect to our
You mean,
brain or
Josh, will
nervous
you be
system?
able to live forever using that?
I'm not doing it.
But you're talking about a human being?
Yeah. Will it be able to pull knowledge from?
I don't know. Here's what I know. I know that I just saw a video yesterday or the day before where this guy was literally, and maybe you saw it as well. He had something hooked up that was reading his brainwaves,
I
and
think I saw this too.
he was asking a question, not with his mouth. He was literally with his brainwaves. He
Yep.
was formulating a question, right? And the machine was coming back with the answer that he was looking for. Now I don't know how good. It seems like that would require a little practice. You know what I mean? Because as
Yeah.
we all know, it's hard to sit down and think about any one thing. You know, because
Yeah.
our minds are everywhere. So to be able to formulate a question that you're trying to get this, you're trying to create the brainwave so that the radio can read it, and then, I mean, it's coming. But I don't know.
Right.
Here's how it's coming: AI. Because what's happening is whatever's reading those waves, right? As it learns, it's going to be able to maybe anticipate. It's going to be like, you know what? The last time this a similar question was formed, this happened in his brain, right? So we're going to be able to start anticipating, but it's got to be the AI because again, when we're doing something, it's like, okay, one thing at a time. Literally,
Yeah.
we can only do one thing at a time. Some of
Yep.
us are very, very gifted at doing one thing at a time very fast, right? But we
Yeah.
can only do one thing at a time, right? So when you have AI that can do, billions and billions of things per nanosecond, it's going to be like, oh my gosh, the possibilities are limitless. What you'll be able to do with this. And again, I try to tie this stuff back to, people that use our solutions, right? Because you want to leverage all of those tools that are available to everyone because they're available to your competition. You know, your competition will be able to go and use AI to change their descriptions, right, on their products to make it more entertaining. They'll be able to come up with better social media posts. I mean, this is everything that AI can do. I don't know, Josh, have you ever sat down and tried to write an email? Like, the email's going to go out and maybe 1,000 people will see it, right? So
Yep.
you want to make sure that it's right. Have you ever taken the time to write one of those emails?
Yes.
It takes forever, right?
Takes forever.
I would rather go, right, and check over whatever my robot wrote.
I would rather proofread any day.
Proofreading is awesome, right?
It's awesome.
It is really great. And to, catch people up on something new that ChatGPT just released, I think it's called just literally just I think the AI ghost like snatched that out of my head. I knew it. It was custom instructions. So now that you can
Yep.
go and you can train your AI to answer as a certain person, profession, all this stuff, so that every time you go back to that conversation, it does it, or any new conversation. I do that anyway with
Jeez.
everything that we do. So
Right.
I'll just tell the AI who it is, right? And that's where the real work is. The real work is not, AI is available to everyone, but man, I'm telling you, please forgive me, but there's some people out there that aren't bright. You know what I mean?
For
And
sure.
you can't just say, "Hey, write something." You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's just like Google. You can't say, "I want to know about cars."
Yeah.
Google's going to be like, "Here's 5 trillion, links." You know what I'm saying? It's going to be like, "You're not
Yeah.
giving me anything." So the more time you spend on prompting, that's the art. I think it's an art. The art of getting the AI to do what you want it to do. The more time you
Yep.
spend on that prompt, man, you're going to be able to come up with some magical stuff, right?
It is coding in its own way. You're
It
telling
is
this computer what you want to come
in
back.
English
Yeah.
or any other language. Absolutely,
Yeah.
it's coding. And hey, you brought that up. So there was another what is that thing called? I'm gonna find it really quick because it
Okay.
is, Josh, it's fascinating what they just
Is an AI able to code?
oh, they already do that. Code
That's
reader,
what
that's
I
what it is. So
thought.
it's the Chat GPT
Yep.
released code reader, right?
Yep.
And don't be confused if you don't code. It doesn't have to do specifically with coding, right? So basically what you can do is let's say you have, I don't know, 5 different spreadsheets and you want to find commonalities in those 5 different spreadsheets. You can literally upload all 5 spreadsheets, prompt it, right, with whatever prompt you want. Like, hey, I noticed that this happens when this happens, when this happens. Within seconds, you'll have in spreadsheet form, if you want, a new spreadsheet showing you the differences and all the answers that you're looking for. It's how crazy is that?
See, that's why when people are worried about AI taking their job, that's where I'm confused because all it allows you to do is do your job better. If you research it and use it and find these tools, I mean, that would take a human how many hours to do?
Oh,
Like
the untold hours.
untold hours. And
It,
it takes that robot 5, 10 minutes.
no, seconds.
Seconds? It
Second.
can,
Seconds, Josh. Second.
God, that's
That's what I'm
insane.
telling you. So imagine being able to do that. And I'm getting back to you. You interrupted me when I was telling my favorite story, my favorite Steve Jobs story.
Oh, my bad. My bad.
It's okay. It was like 40 minutes ago. No. So Steve Jobs was being interviewed, and if you don't know who Steve Jobs is, they build houses now. You don't have to live under a rock. I'm just joking with you. So Steve Jobs cited this Scientific American article that this group of scientists, this test that this group of scientists did in regards to locomotion, like what species is the most efficient with locomotion, getting from point A to point B, right? And he says, and I'll include in our replay, I'll include his actual answer because it's a lot more eloquent than me. But he said, we as humans were maybe a third of the way down or a third from the bottom of the list.
Right.
But the condor was at the very top, right? Which makes sense. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You got like 12 feet wings. All you got to do is one flap and you're off.
You're gone.
But he said it was fascinating because someone had the thought, wait a minute, what if we put the human on a bicycle? He's at the top now. The human's
just
at the
because
top with the
just because of
bicycle.
a bicycle?
Right.
There was an article in Scientific American in the early 70s which compared the efficiency of locomotion for various species of things on the planet. In other words, they measured how much energy it took for a bird to get from point A to point B compared with the energy it took a fish to get the same distance, and a goat and a person and all sorts of other things. And they ranked them. And it turns out the condor won. Condor was the most efficient, and man came in with a rather unimpressive showing about a third of the way down the list. Somewhat disappointing. But someone there had the insight to test the efficiency of man riding a bicycle. And man riding a bicycle was twice as good as the condor, all the way off the end of the list. And what it really illustrated was man's ability as a tool maker to fashion a tool that can amplify an inherent ability that he has. And that's exactly what we think we're doing. We think we're basically fashioning a 21st century bicycle here, which can amplify an inherent intellectual ability that man has and really take care of a lot of drudgery to free people to do much more creative work.
And obviously Steve Jobs was selling computers at the time. So his analogy had to do with, the bicycle is actually a computer, or the computer is actually a bicycle for the human mind, right?
Right.
This, I think, AI is not even a rocket ship. I think it's like a wormhole for the human mind. We're talking like light years in
Yep.
nanoseconds. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So what you can do, I'm telling you, man, I get really excited, but remember, with my excitement comes some concerns as well, which everyone
Oh, for
should be
sure.
a little concerned, right? I mean, all of our appliances are getting smarter. They're, I don't know if you heard, Josh, but did you and this may be controversial. I'm glad Ezra's not here, so he can't tell me now. This may be controversial, but these people showed up to their home, and I don't know what triggered Alexa inside, but I think maybe they were listening to music and a bad word was said, like a racial word,
Right.
in the music. Alexa locked the house down. And it's like, when your technology is that smart, you know what I mean? When that's just a little concerning. You know what I'm saying?
That's a little concerning.
That's why you want to know, like, who's the last person that hit enter. You know what I'm saying? Are they they're not a serial killer, they're not. I just want somebody normal to hit the button last to make sure that the program's running.
Reads the code just one more time.
One more time, right?
Just one more time.
Yeah,
maybe,
I don't want to.
Maybe just test it on your other server just one last time for the rest of us. Yeah.
So anyway, I don't know why we got off on that subject, but I really think that AI is going to radically change everyone's life. I can't believe we actually had people listen. I'm really thankful that you guys paid attention and listened to this. We're going to do more of these. Our next ones, I promise you, our next one's probably going to be more formatted, if you will. Not formatted. So shotgun, because I was depending on Ezra to be, kind of run with this, and I was going to be Josh, like poking holes and stuff, and now I couldn't do that. So, but
it was fun. I like being the hole poker. It's really fun.
It's fun, isn't it? It doesn't require a whole lot of effort.
No, it really doesn't. Like, I feel like people are going to be judging me like, wow, Josh just sat there the entire time. I'm like,
you did good.
I had a blast.
Yeah. It's like kids. Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? No. I think this is going to be, this should be a regular occurrence for us as a technology company, as a company that tries to stay at the tip of the spear of everything new that can help people. I think we should do this at least once a month, talk about maybe things that are emerging, that's another fascinating subject that AI has introduced me to, is emergence. I'm telling you, man, there's so much knowledge out there that we don't know that you can learn very quickly these days, and just take advantage of all these tools. I'm telling you, you got ChatGPT. ChatGPT just made it to the party first. That's the only reason we know ChatGPT. You were talking about Google's version, right?
Yeah.
Bard.
Bard.
There are thousands of other instances of AI that may do broad things, may do specific things, but there are hundreds of thousands, right? Every day, this stuff is evolving and changing and empowering people to do. One person can do the work of 10, and next month it will be one person will be able to do the work of 100 people. And no, it's not going to take your job, but someone using that will. Absolutely. I can guarantee you, someone that can come up with the work or do the creative stuff, because remember, the AI is not creative. You have to know how to talk to it. You have to know how to prompt it. That's where the creative spark is. I don't know if this will age me, but I don't really care. Josh, can you look up when Final Fantasy, the movie, came out?
Oh my God. See the movie come out. July 11th, 2001. I wasn't even born yet.
So I saw that in theaters. It was the following year, though, I think.
2002?
Yeah. And I remember it was a huge advancement in CGI, right? Like,
I'm looking at it, looks pretty impressive, honestly.
It was so impressive, right? And back then I knew, like, there's something missing, though, right?
Right.
And that something missing is that and I can't explain it, right? But there's something in the eyes, like the spark of life. You know what I mean? Where you can look at something and be like, that's not real.
Yeah.
But if you see that spark of life in a living person, you can see that in their eyes, and you can even see it leave. You know what I mean? I mean, that's what's strange too, is you can see a person not be there anymore, and their life leaves their eyes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I know that's morbid. I'm not trying to be, but that's the thing about AI, right? It doesn't have that creative spark. When you read something that was written by AI, not touched by human hands, right? No matter how good the prompt is, you're going to be able to tell this seems doesn't really flow.
100%.
Doesn't really flow.
100%.
It may work, and that's what's going to separate, a really successful business from people that are just getting by. They'll just put up with the guy that says, "Hey, I can do all your copy for you," and he's doing like $5 blogs, and he's
Right.
like, that there was no thought put into it. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
So when you start seeing that spark, you'll know that it was touched by human hands. If not, it wasn't. And what AI does is it gives you a really solid base to polish. Gives you a really solid base,
100%.
right?
100%.
And then you build on that, and it's like, my gosh, this is great work that you've done.
Yep.
And
it saves so much time.
Hours, Josh. Hours and hours. And I cannot believe we're going on 50 minutes. I will never get this 50 minutes back.
I'm so sorry.
Ever. Josh, do you have anything else? I want to thank everybody for joining us.
For sure.
This was mind-blowing. I will be better prepared for our next one. Ezra will be here. Josh will probably chime in as well. Because we need to get the perspective of someone who says, wait, AI can read spreadsheets?
We have the different levels of knowledge.
Yeah.
I'm at the bottom.
No, you're not. Trust me, you're not.
Is your agent asking why you're still on this podcast?
I'm holding out for a better deal.
No, I got nothing to add, but thank you for everyone for joining. This was really fun.
It was very fun. I am so thankful that everybody was here. I've said that before. If you would like for us to cover something specific in regards to AI, please shoot us an email or drop us a comment in the chat for the next minute that we're going to be here. I think we'll be here for another minute, right? I'm just giving everyone a chance.
Yeah, why not?
And the replay, I'll obviously have my email address here. But this is the new frontier. I'm not trying to be dramatic. I'm not trying to, play anything up. This is the most exciting thing that's happened to humanity in millennia.
Chris made a good topic that we can talk about. This one would definitely be best for Dad, is an AI buying assistant. And that is
AI buying assistant?
That is something that Dad has talked about, that I think he would be the perfect person to talk more about it.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I think so too. Again, anything that you can think of, right? So imagine, Chris, all of your data that you collect, right? You can run reports now from CoreStore. You see what I'm saying? So just do me a favor, if you can, just to test this out. And it will require you to spend $20 a month at ChatGPT, right, for the plus version. But to get the ability to maybe take 3 or 4 months, right, of your sales, from CoreStore, and say what's causing the difference in, my sales on these 4 months, right?
And it will or even just asking it, based on these stats, what should I buy?
Sure. But
if you give all the info.
Yeah, having a conversation with it like that will bring up things that maybe you're not thinking about. Like,
true.
Well, hey, depending on where you're located, this is like a festival time for so and so, right? It's going to think about things that you're not going to think about, right? And it's going to give you some analytical data to use to improve how you're dealing with your customers. So again, the possibilities are limitless. We will do that. If you could, Josh, make a note of that so we could
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, Chris, you're already doing it. That's great, man. Maybe if you do some tests, maybe next show we'll have you on and just get your reaction to how that worked. Like, how are you using that to maybe trim down some of your data and figure out what's going on? Because it's AI is going to be able to give you a 50,000-foot view of everything, right? You may be in the bushes all week, all month, but you want to get that big picture view, and something like one of these tools will be able to give you that. And again, how much would you have to pay somebody to figure that out? An accountant would be,
Absolutely.
That's great. That's great. Hey, Chris, can you email me at joel.chaney@coreware.com, and we'll definitely talk to you further about this. This is very exciting stuff.
100%.
Fatma, thank you so much. Hello, Josh and Joel. We did okay, I think. Hopefully.
When Dad sees it, he'll tell us how badly we screwed up. That's okay.
I think I'm gonna go turn everything off for a few hours.
That's probably good.
Wait, I think I'm coming down with something.
Thank you, Fatma. Oh, Joel, you're getting like pale.
Oh,
I think
I am hot. I got the shakes too.
Oh no.
No, I'm just joking. Hey, thank you so much, everybody. This was probably one of the most entertaining for myself, because this is something that I love talking about, and I know this is the most empowering thing that has happened to, people in generations. So I hope that you take some of what we've shared and maybe start plugging things into your life and making your, existence a little more tolerable on this rock that we call Earth. And we'll learn more about this in our next episode. Hopefully we'll do another one if Ezra has not gotten rid of both of us yet.
Wish us luck, everyone.
Yep. Thank you guys so much. We're out of here. Wait. No, I'm just joking. I was gonna play a joke. I'm not gonna. The AI is not coming after us, I promise.
We never even played a song.
Yeah, we did. You didn't hear it?
Oh, are we playing an outro song right now?
Right now. You don't hear that?
Right now.
Yeah.